March 18, 1925, 12:45 p.m. A calm afternoon in Reynolds County, Missouri. But in moments, everything would change. A low rumble echoes. Winds surge beyond 300 miles per hour. Without warning, a massive wall of swirling black clouds touches down. A monstrous force begins its deadly journey. A tornado. 2:30 p.m., Murphysboro, Illinois. The sky darkens. Residents barely have seconds to react. In mere minutes, 188 people will perish here, the highest tornado death toll in a single U.S. city. By 4:30 p.m., Pike County, Indiana. 219 miles, 3 states, and 3 hours 45 minutes later, the deadliest tornado in U.S. history dissipates. This is the tri-state tornado, the most terrifying tornado ever recorded. But how did such a force of nature come to be? March 17, 1925, 7 a.m. A powerful extratropical cyclone positions itself over northwestern Montana. At the same time, a low-pressure area begins forming near Denver, Colorado. Pulling warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico, the cold, dry air pushes in from the Rockies. As the day progresses, this clash of contrasting air masses intensifies. March 18, 1925, 7 a.m. The low-pressure zone shifts toward northeastern Oklahoma. Temperatures in the warm sector climb to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, with dew points rising near 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Warm, unstable air clashes with cooler air in the north. This sharp temperature contrast, known as a baroclinic zone, often fuels dangerous storms. By 12 p.m., clouds begin to clear. The atmosphere grows increasingly unstable. A dry punch of air sweeps aloft, boosting instability further. Winds at 500 hectopascals reach speeds of 110 miles per hour. The combination of warm, moist air near the surface and strong winds aloft creates the perfect environment for tornado formation. At this moment, the tri-state supercell takes shape just south of St. Louis, Missouri. It moves east-northeast at 62 miles per hour, outrunning the low-pressure system that gave it life. It's positioned near the triple point, where a cold front, warm front, and dry line intersect, makes it uniquely capable of producing a tornado of unprecedented strength. But on the ground, there are no warnings, no siren sound. The skies remain deceptively calm. 12:40 p.m. In Moore Township, Shannon County, Missouri, a small condensation funnel appears. Witnesses later describe it as boiling clouds on the ground, but this is likely not the main event. 12:45 p.m. The true tornado touches down in Reynolds County, Missouri. Winds exceed 300 miles per hour. The first fatality, a farmer, occurs within minutes. Meteorologists monitoring weather patterns note a rapidly strengthening supercell moving at 62 miles per hour. Local residents have no warnings. The skies turn from calm to catastrophic in seconds. By 12:50 p.m., the tornado reached Annapolis, Missouri, leaving 90% of the town in ruins. 2 residents are killed instantly as buildings collapse without warning. The sky turned black. "We barely had time to move before the walls gave in," recalls a local teacher. The destruction extends into Ballinger County, where 2 schools collapse, injuring 32 children. The force of the tornado is so immense that debris from the area is later discovered 50 miles away. As the tornado continues its relentless path, it reaches Sedgwickville at 1:20 p.m., where sheets of iron are lifted and thrown miles from their original locations. A meteorologist studying the wind shear would later remark, "The wind speeds were beyond anything recorded at the time. Nature at its most violent." Just 10 minutes later, at 1:30 p.m., the tornado strikes Perry County, developing a terrifying double funnel as it tears through Beale, erasing entire homes from existence. In Frona, 2 women tragically lose their lives, with one succumbing to injuries after 10 agonizing days. Eyewitnesses describe the deafening roar of the storm as being like 100 trains, signaling the tornado's unstoppable advance. At 2:30 p.m., the tornado crosses the Mississippi River into Illinois, striking Gorham with relentless force. The town is nearly wiped off the map. 60 of its 80 homes vanish, and railroad tracks are ripped from the ground. "It sounded like the end of the world," recalls a survivor. Of Gorham's small population, 30 people die instantly, and 170 are left injured. Just 10 minutes later, at 2:40 p.m., the tornado reaches Murphysboro, Illinois, where the deadliest phase unfolds. Murphysboro, home to 10,000 residents, experiences catastrophic destruction as the tornado, nearly a mile wide, flattens entire neighborhoods. The M&O railroad shop collapses, trapping 35 workers who perish as fires ignite in the wreckage. The destruction spreads to local schools. 17 students die at Longfellow School and 9 more at Logan School. Fires rage uncontrollably due to destroyed water mains, and desperate attempts to stop the blaze using dynamite only worsen the destruction. The death toll in Murphysboro reaches 234, marking it as the deadliest tornado death toll in a single U.S. city. The air was thick with dust and screams. You couldn't tell where the ground ended and the sky began, a survivor recalls. By 3 p.m., the tornado tears through DeSoto, Illinois, claiming 56 lives, including 33 students who die when the DeSoto school collapses, the highest death toll at a single U.S. school due to a tornado. Deputy Sheriff George Boland disappears into the funnel, his body never found. At 3:30 p.m., the tornado clips Bush, Illinois, where pieces of wood spear the water tower and heavy railroad axles scatter across yards, resulting in 10 more deaths. By 3:45 p.m., the tornado barrels into West Frankfort, a major mining town. The Peabody Mine 18 coal tipple, weighing hundreds of tons, is lifted and rolled by the tornado's force. A total of 102 residents lose their lives, 81 immediately, and 21 later from injuries. We saw homes lifted as if they were paper. It moved so fast, no one could escape, a survivor recounts. The devastation continues at 4 p.m. as Caldwell and Parrish, Illinois, are struck. In Caldwell, 24 perish, including 11 family members of storekeeper Isaac Carney's, marking the deadliest loss for a single family. Parrish is completely obliterated, resulting in 33 deaths, and the town is never rebuilt. By 4:15 p.m., the tornado reaches its widest point at 1.5 miles as it tears through Hamilton and White counties. Entire farms disappear, 45 more people die, railroad tracks are twisted, and churches crumble, marking one of the most destructive paths in tornado history. At 4:20 p.m., the tornado crosses the Wabash River into Indiana, flattening the town of Griffin in a matter of moments. The destruction is absolute. 46 people lose their lives, and the town becomes unrecognizable. Not a single structure stood, a first responder later recalls, capturing the scale of devastation. Just 5 minutes later at 4:25 p.m., the tornado roars into Princeton, Indiana, tearing through entire neighborhoods with ruthless intensity. The Heinz factory sustains severe damage, and 38 residents die instantly, while 152 others are injured, 6 of them fatally. The tornado, maintaining its rapid forward speed of nearly 59 miles per hour, continues its relentless path for another 10 miles. Finally, at 4:30 p.m., after 3 hours and 45 minutes of uninterrupted destruction, having traveled 219 miles across 3 states, the deadliest tornado in U.S. history dissipates in Pike County, Indiana, leaving behind a trail of unimaginable loss and devastation. Communities along its route had mere seconds to respond. Mary Holloway, a teacher in Annapolis, Missouri, described walls collapsing before she could get her students to safety. In Bollinger County, Tom Carter arrived at a demolished school, searching desperately for his children. By 2:30 p.m., the tornado reached Gorham, Illinois. Susan Miller lost her husband and son, recalling how the town was just gone when the storm passed. First responders encountered broken homes, broken bodies. The worst devastation occurred in Murphysboro around 2:40 p.m., where 234 people died. Factories and schools collapsed. Raging fires spread uncontrollably due to damaged water mains. DeSoto followed at 3 p.m., witnessing the disappearance of Deputy Sheriff George Boland and the collapse of its school, which took 33 young lives. West Frankfort at 3:45 p.m. lost 102 people. The final toll was staggering: 695 confirmed dead, 588 in Illinois, 95 in Indiana, 12 in Missouri, and over 2,000 injured. 15,000 homes were destroyed, and property damage reached $16.5 million in 1925, equivalent to $2.9 billion today. Schools were hit particularly hard. 9 were destroyed, and 69 students died, the highest school tornado death toll ever. 1/3 of the victims were children. Technically, the storm's unique baroclinic zone and exceptional wind shear created a high precipitation supercell. Wind speeds at multiple heights varied drastically, generating the rotation needed for a powerful, long-lived tornado. Many question if it was a single tornado or a tornado family, yet the consistent path suggests one massive, continuous event. In the aftermath, survivors roamed debris fields seeking loved ones, and relief trains were overwhelmed with casualties. The tragedy propelled changes in emergency response and meteorological research, highlighting the need for radar and warning systems. To this day, the tri-state tornado stands as a haunting reminder of nature's destructive force. Beyond grim statistics lie thousands of human stories, families torn apart, children lost, and towns emptied. It ultimately prompted advancements in weather forecasting and emergency planning. Yet even now, the question remains, if a storm of this scale struck today, would we be truly prepared? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this.